Today we're discussing new updates for Helldivers 2, Overwatch 2, and a bunch of Fallout stuff. Plus, a new Star Wars Outlaws trailer drops and more top headlines of the week. And if that isn't enough, Maulding is back with a trivia SmackDown all about Fallout. Welcome, friends, to this week's episode of Good Playing With You, the weekly gaming podcast. I'm Dan Whitehill, and as always, I'm joined by our good playing good buddies, Matt Lord.
Hey, how's it going?
And Matt Maulding.
Hey now.
We've got a packed show for you before we dive in. Let's check in with my combo of Matts to find out what everyone's been playing this week. Lord?
Yeah, it's been a good week. More Helldivers, getting a better taste of the big update. I was wearing my cape on all the drops, but I was with
Did you get shot?
I was with some friends and they were also wearing the cape too, so
Nice.
it was all friendly. We saw that there was no automatons still. It was like we had to just play the bugs, and I think I'm a little partial towards the bugs. I've realized.
Easily.
Yeah, I think those
Bugs
are
are
a little
where it's
bit
at.
more fun.
Yeah.
What do you think, Dan? That's fair?
Definitely. Bugs all the way. Bugs can't really shoot back. I mean, they can spit acid on you and that sort of stuff. Yeah, bugs all the way.
Bugs all the way. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And then I'm still playing Stalker. I'm loving that modded Stalker. I'm still thinking you guys need to pick it up at some point. I'm going to keep rallying for that.
And we're going to keep heckling you for it.
It's that 2009 sweet FPS that you can't ignore. And then yesterday I found myself in Irvine for work. So on the way home, I went to Tustin, where Micro Center is, which is this PC like heaven. I just had to shout it out because I went in there and I was like, this is my store. It's basically the size of a Best Buy that just is full of every PC component ever. And there's only a few of them. And this place is just like, it was packed and it was glorious. So if any listener out there finds themselves in Tustin,
and you're not lost.
Yeah, and if you're not lost, just get off the freeway, get off the 5 or the 405 and head over to the Micro Center because wow. And I'm also going to rally for you guys to build a PC at some point, and I can help you.
I'm way into that. You're speaking my language. I'm way into that. We should make a plan. I'm poor right now, but like I'm way into this.
Yes. If you were to build a PC, this is where you do it. And also, I just want to say that it's like where you go to buy like in-store bundles for PC parts, and it's like really reasonable. It's like cheaper than going online, which I think is like very backwards in this world because online seems to always be cheaper, but in-store at Micro Center, cheaper PC parts.
Yeah, we have to make it happen. That could be our own little video series on YouTube. It'll be fun.
Yes. Great call. I'm totally in. And that's it for me.
Maulding?
I burnt myself out on Unicorn Overlord. I did not finish it after like 60 hours into it. I was just like, I can't do it anymore. I probably am 2/3 of the way through, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to go back to it. But it was super fun when I did play it, and I really enjoyed it. But then I saw on sale for $20 on Xbox was this game I had put on my wish list called Miasma Chronicles. And basically it's a tactical RPG set in like a post-apocalyptic world, and I've been really enjoying it. It's been scratching that itch that Baldur's Gate left me with. It's not nearly as involved as Baldur's Gate, but it's got the same type of elements to it. It looks beautiful, top-down tactical RPG. It's super fun. I've been really enjoying it.
Nice.
And then Overwatch. That's my usual. Overwatch is always in the mix.
Nice.
Yeah, that's about it. What about you, Dan?
I know we're going to talk more about Overwatch later, so I'm curious what you have to say about it too. So I've been playing Helldivers, of course, some Outlast Trials. I burned out of Dragon's Dogma, so I'm giving that one a little bit of break.
Did you not finish it?
No, I didn't.
No. Yeah.
It's just too much work, to be honest with you. Like, I don't look. I'm like, maybe I'll get back. I love an adventure, but it's just like, it's making me look up too much stuff up on Google. And when a game does that to me, it pisses me off, because it's like, I should be able to find this. There should be some way in the game. But when you make me do work, I'm like, hell, I get paid to work, okay? Because I'm here to play. Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, so I'm burned out on that one, taking a little break, and hate to admit it, but I am dipping a little toe, like a pinky toe, back into Suicide Squad, just because I paid $70 for it.
Glutton for punishment, you are.
I know.
I'm a little shocked. I didn't expect you to say this.
Well, the cutscenes are really pretty good, but oh man, that gameplay, it's rough. So I don't know. I'm just trying to get my money's out of it. That's all.
How do you think they made the cutscenes so good? Because I agree with you. When I was watching the gameplay, the cutscenes were like head and shoulders above any of the actual gameplay that I was seeing. It was pretty awesome. What happened?
Well, I think it's two separate teams, maybe two separate companies that didn't talk to each other, and they're like, this is where we need a cutscene, and this is what it needs to happen. And then they wrote some really funny, well-designed, really great cutscene, and then you go back to that same gameplay of standing on roofs and shooting people in the legs, and it's just not that fun.
Yeah.
But I digress. But what is fun is talking about video games and video game headlines. We've definitely got a lot of those. But before we jump into the headlines, Maulding wants to update everyone on our latest social handles.
Oh, yeah. Just want to let you know that you can reach us on Twitter at Good Play With You. You can search us out on TikTok at Good Playing With You. You can email us at goodplayingwithyou@gmail.com. And you can find us on YouTube at Good Playing With You.
Thanks, Maulding.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're very
welcome. One more thing we got to address before we hop into those headlines, though. I want to do a quick update for Helldivers, of course. It's been a huge week this past week, and we finally defeated the automatons this past weekend. As everyone knows, it was a huge victory. We were all super pumped. And then, of course, on Tuesday, they returned, and now it's worse than ever. They've taken over more of the galaxy, and we're not even trying to beat them. We're actually on defend missions, so it's been quite an interesting week there. As promised, a new Warbond Democratic Detonation dropped today. It adds new weapons, including the exploding crossbow and grenade pistol that are sure to blow up as many enemies as teammates. However, there's new armor that helps with the inevitable increase in explosive damage on the battlefield. Looking at everything and reading as much as I could on Reddit before we got to hang out, I made a top 3 list of weapons that I can't wait to check out, that you might want to check out too. First on my list is the GP31 grenade pistol. It's a secondary that can close bug holes and bot fabricators, so you don't even need grenades. So that alone right there, I mean, I always run out of grenades, so that puts it at the top of my list of things I'm interested in. Then there's the R36 Eruptor. It's a bolt-action rifle with explosive shrapnel shells. And the number 3 is the CB9 exploding crossbow I mentioned earlier. It's got a huge radius for a non-support weapon, but it does have a slower fire rate, so it's good and bad, but it also means it also can destroy fabricators and bug holes, which is always good news. The one thing I have caught online, though, is don't go for the Adjudicator. I hear it's underpowered, it's weak, it already needs a buff coming out of the gate, so it looks like a really great machine gun, but I hear it's not worth it. 6 new ship upgrades were added to the game as well, which all of them sound great. I don't want to spoil them here. Definitely check them out. I don't even know if I'm high enough level to unlock them, but the one thing I do know, unfortunately, is that the superior packing methodology, which is a ship part that makes your resupply boxes refill support weapons with the maximum number of cartridges and magazines, is currently bugged. So even though it just launched today, don't go for that upgrade until you hear it's fixed, and try and focus on the other ones, because you don't want to waste any of those precious resources. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the world of Helldivers.
Wow. Actually, the crossbow sounds sick. So that's going to be your primary, not even a support weapon?
That's going to be the primary.
Okay.
But what are you interested in? Or what have you heard anything?
I like to run the grenade launcher at all times anyway, because I like to, you're right, like the fabricators and the bug holes, you can just blast them super quickly. I think it's like a great strategy to just knock out your little side missions really quick. So I like the sound of the pistol. I like, how does that
I
look?
agree.
Is it going to be like a grenade attached to the end of the pistol or something? Like, it sounds a little goofy to me, but I'm sure they'll make it work.
Wait, I actually have a picture. Sorry for the people who are just listening
Yeah.
to us, but I do have. I
Let's
guess it
see.
doesn't.
Oh, okay.
So it looks just like a regular pistol there.
Yeah, it does. In a thermite grenade. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So I'm definitely going to check those out this weekend. I can't wait.
Do you have a picture of this bug hole you keep on talking about?
Maybe later I'll message you that one privately.
Yeah, I'm excited. So do you have to buy what it goes into this? Is it going to be some pay to win business that we're
you're going to set people off again? But yeah. It is $10 to get it if you haven't banked all the super credits. And the main thing is you just need to make sure that you have enough medals to unlock everything. And that's my problem, is that I don't have enough of the medals that I need. So I'm gonna hold off on this one for a little bit. But man, I need that pistol really badly. So as soon as I get enough super credits, that's the first thing I'm gonna go for.
And those like little the armors are actually pretty cool too. So it might be worth getting the armor sets.
Yeah,
I
this
like
one
that a
definitely
lot.
looks stronger than the last one, and I like the last one a lot because of
Agreed.
the sickle. So we'll see.
Sweet. Yeah, I'm excited. I'll definitely be checking that out.
Right on. Glad to hear it. All right, moving on to the headlines of the day. Maulding had a couple of stories about Fallout for us.
Yeah, so first, Fallout the series on Amazon dropped today, I think, this morning, and I watched the first 3 episodes of it, and I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised. It is really doing Fallout some justice, and I'm shocked. And the first thing I'm shocked about is it is a hard R show. This is there is violence, there is sex, there's a dude that wipes his dick on a curtain, and once that happened, I was like, I'm in with this show.
Don't spoil it for me. No, how can they top that?
I know, but I was shocked because I did not know that was the direction that the show was going to go. For some reason, I don't know, after all the previews we saw, I just thought it was going to be a vanilla, like, jokey sort of thing, and there definitely are jokes, but it's serious. Man, it does some service to the game that is not invasive. It's not fan service like, hey, look at us. It's posters in the background. It's the sound effects that they use for, like, the stim pack. It sounds exactly like the game. Sound effects of doors opening. The door to the vault opens exactly the same as the game does. It is very, very true to the series, and that made me really, really happy. I can't get over how bad the power armor looks, though, man. It is.
Oh no.
It looks. I mean, I understand why they did it the way they did, because to have it be CGI the whole time would have been really expensive. So I'm sure that the suits are practical effects and they look like they are cardboard, and they don't look very good. But that's so far the only complaint I have. I'm not quite sure how into the story I'm gonna be. It's good. It's got me. I'm curious to see what happens. The characters are all great. So that's the only thing that's a little bit
iffy. Is she
iffy.
cool?
She's great. Yeah, she's absolutely great. She got a lot of hate, or there was a video that got a lot of hate on Twitter that came out with one scene between her and the ghoul. What's his name? Who's a famous actor? I can't remember his name right now. And there is reasoning why she's speaking the way she's speaking. It is, and I think that there is going to be an evolution of her coming from this naive vault dweller, and I guarantee you by the end she's going to be a wastelander. Like, that is the trajectory she's going in, and I really, really appreciate it, and I can't wait to see it. So I highly recommend checking the show out when you get a chance.
That sounds awesome. So it's already looking better than what Borderlands
I think
up.
I think it's gonna. Borderlands looked like swill,
but we're all still gonna see it, right? We're all gonna go see it.
Yeah, we're totally gonna see it. But this This has Borderlands. Yeah. It's way past that already. Yeah.
Okay, and are there nuclear explosions in them? Because I love a good nuclear explosion on screen. Have we seen any yet?
I don't think this is spoiling it. It's setting up the show right at the very beginning, and it's chilling. It's the best nuclear explosion that I've seen since the Terminator 2 explosion that they did.
Whoa!
Yeah,
you're talking
that's
high
praise.
bar.
Yeah. So I mean, it's under that. It's not quite as good as that, because that was top tier nuclear explosion. But no, it's it looks great, and it's pretty chilling because it's all played absolutely serious, and this is what's happening at this time, and it's great. Yeah, and that's within the first like 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So not spoiling anything.
And you said there's only 3 episodes out so far?
No, so this is another thing. I think they've done a huge disservice to releasing all of them. All 8 episodes are all released. I've only seen the first 3. They need to, if they want to keep, and they being entertainment conglomerates want to keep people interested in shows, they have to stop releasing everything all at once. It's great as a viewer to be able to see everything and just like, nom nom nom, just eat everything up. But take a hint from X-Men 97, which I am watching every Wednesday morning as soon as it comes out. I'm super excited for it every week. That is what keeps people excited in a show. I'm concerned that this show might be a flash. People are going to talk about it for 2 weeks, and then no one's ever going to talk about it until the next season, which tends to happen with these releases. Yeah,
that's a good point.
Thumbs up.
I'm definitely looking forward to checking it out. It looks awesome, and I'm glad to hear that you're enjoying it too. I'm curious to hear when you finish what you think of the whole thing.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll give it a grade, which I love my A to F grades. Some people evidently don't think I should be doing that on Twitter, but that's how I like to grade things. So I'll give it a good grade.
You can't trust Twitter. I mean, they're trying to take scenes out of context and stuff like that. So
that's true.
That's what they do. Anyway, you had more Fallout news for us.
Yeah. So also, Fallout 4 is actually getting some new content and improvements on PS5, Xbox, and PC. And this game is 9 years old.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so the update is free, and it's going to be released on April 25th. And it's going to have the native versions for both for all the consoles, and you'll be able to pick between performance and quality modes. And you can Bethesda says you can experience up to 60 FPS and increased resolutions, which Fallout 4 is one of my very favorite games, so I'm excited to get back into it and see what these new visuals look like. I think there were some cosmetic improvements that they did, some downloads that you can do with the I'm having some trouble with my computer, of course, scrolling down. Some stuff with the mods. I think there are some improvements with mods. And there's a Halloween workshop with 38 new Halloween decorations to add to your settlement, such as witches, cauldrons, and ghouls, which I don't find that very exciting. But to have it look pretty, I thought it was a pretty game when I originally played it, so I'm super excited to see what it looks like now. But yeah, so jump back into Fallout 4.
What's the impetus for this update? Did they say, was it because of the show coming out? They wanted to put a fresh coat of paint on it, or
they announced that in 2022 they announced that they were going to do this update, but it was delayed until this year. So I think it might be coincidence / maybe they had it ready and they are putting it out for the show. I don't know. Yeah, there's nothing that says that. This is
just like The Last of Us. The Last of Us 2.
It could be.
Where they, like how they did the PS5 remaster for Last of Us 2 for The Last of Us show.
That feels more of a money. That felt more of a money grab than this is. I think this is more of a coincidence, because this is just this isn't a remake. This isn't a re-release. This is just an update for the Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5. Yeah.
Do you know if this is on Game Pass?
It is on Game Pass. Yeah, because Xbox owns Bethesda. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
mean, if you
that's
were
how.
to... Oh,
Go ahead.
sorry, Maulding. I was gonna say, like,
Oh
should
no, I
I
was just gonna
rush
say that's
out,
how
maybe
I
get
got.
one?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Should you
I'm
rush
just
out?
saying,
Should you rush out and get it?
yes, on the PS4. Should I just get pick up a $5 copy from GameStop and then
Oh,
I get
if you've never played Fallout 4, I love it. I think it's a fantastic game. So
I mean, I have, but it's been a while. I mean, it's been 9 years practically. Oh my gosh, I played it.
Yeah.
I remember right when it came out, I was like a young buck at E, and then I don't know. I just kind of I felt like it didn't hold me as well as Fallout 3 for some reason. I had Fallout 3 I sunk so much time into, and then it probably is like a really good time to jump back in it now. So I'm like, okay, I might as well get
Game
a copy.
Pass, so just try it there.
Yeah. Why do I need to go out and spend any money?
Yeah, you don't.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's free. I was gonna say I had to pull something up and today for the game, and I just played it on cloud. Like I didn't have to download the game at all because it's a Game Pass game, so it's on the cloud, and I was able to play it in 20 seconds. I was able to boot it up and play.
That's awesome.
Wild.
Yeah,
you gotta love that backwards compatibility. And speaking of, Lord, I know you had a story.
Oh yeah. So here's just another, common Xbox win these days. Xbox commits to backwards compatibility with a new team dedicated to game preservation. This is coming from Sarah Bond, who is basically going into how they're just creating a whole group. Well, this is coming from emails within the company that have been verified. Sarah Bond reiterates Microsoft plans to build new Xbox hardware, focusing on delivering the biggest technical leap, revealed that Microsoft has set up a dedicated team to future-proof digital Xbox game libraries across future hardware paradigms to further build on Xbox's strong history of delivering backwards compatibility, which I just love reading this. I think it's such a strong headline. I think that's great. I feel like there's been some instances this year that's made me concerned for the future of old games, because me, I'm jumping into old games all the time. I got Stalker on the back burner.
You're a wild man.
I love it. I think it's great. So the idea of losing games to time just sounds crazy. So I love to hear that Xbox is taking the initiative to preservation. I think it's super positive. I'm hoping Sony kind of gets wind of this and does something very similar, and at least puts out some sort of memo saying this is something that they want to do for their game library, and Nintendo can also do it as well. I think Nintendo also has a little bit of an iffy digital library situation right now, so
they've definitely done shady things in the past.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the technology exists, so this should definitely be there. It's nice to hear them reiterate it. I don't think Sony will say anything, because I don't know that they have to. I do think Sony will make this a priority, though, because the second you take away someone's digital library, they then become a free agent, and they can be like, well, you effed me over, I'm going to go to Xbox. So I don't think they would ever give their competitor an advantage. So I don't think you have to worry about it, especially as long as Xbox is pushing this. I'm sure Sony will too. Nintendo, on the other hand, hope they get with the times.
Yeah, so on Nintendo, the only way you can play older games is through their online, the virtual console, right? And then if you have the old school, I'm looking at I don't even remember what they're called, the NES, Super NES Mini, I think was what it was that made a big splash. But that's the only way you can play old Nintendo games, correct?
Right, but they did fart around with it and half-ass it in the past. For example, the Game Boy Advance could play the old Game Boy games, and then a 2DS could play, or 3DS could play the 2DS games, I think, and so they farted around with it, but they never stuck with it or made it a priority.
And then what about PlayStation 5? If I were to jump on it right now, would I be able to play a PlayStation 3 game?
No.
Okay.
That's
the
redheaded stepchild of PlayStation.
No.
What about
I
a
just
PS2
learned
game?
this, though. I think that it can play a
2 and 4 are
PS1
good.
game.
Yeah, 1, 2, and 4 I think are good. It's 3 that's the redheaded stepchild, right?
Oh wait, you can wait. I don't know if PS5 can do that much backwards compatibility. I think it might just be. Well, it can do 4 for sure, but 3, 2, I don't think is in the picture either, because that's why the PS4 or PS3 fat editions are so
that's right,
sought after. But somebody was telling me that all PlayStation systems can play PS1 games, and that is like a little shocking to me.
I mean, I have a bunch of them in my room right now. I could try it out when we're done and check everybody in next show.
Perfect.
Yeah, definitely keep us posted. All right, moving on to some newer games. Let's talk Star Wars. Did you guys check out the new trailer that dropped this week, and what's your hype level?
Maulding, go for it.
I can feel Maulding's face.
Listen, it looks fine, I guess. I don't know. There was not enough. There was some gameplay there, but there wasn't enough there for me to unless I watched a different trailer than y'all watched. There was only a little bit of gameplay, right, that we could tell.
Okay, but you saw that I linked the gameplay in the document because I said Maulding's gonna say, "Meh, there was no gameplay," and I made it a link so that you could watch the old gameplay.
Okay, so I didn't watch that link, but I did watch the trailer that Xbox had, and I assumed it was the same one, but maybe it wasn't the same one. Anyway, whatever I saw, it did not excite me.
Lord.
Well, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I didn't see either one, the gameplay or the trailer. So
you guys, I'm linking these things in the document.
I know. I haven't fully gotten around. It's like almost
so
like
alone.
I'm going back to like the Elden Ring days with the man. I'm just totally missed it, but I did see the controversy. However, the $120.
Okay, wait. Well, before we do that, before we hop into that one, I do want to hop into that controversy real quickly. But I do want to say, I saw the trailer.
Yes.
I thought the trailer was pretty good, and I don't even like Star Wars. I don't care about the story. I don't understand the story. I saw the movies. The most recent ones weren't good, and I haven't watched any of the TV shows. And just as a filthy casual, I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. The gameplay itself was a little bit stilted and robotic, and I don't know if there's enough freedom as I would like to be able to run around and do certain things. It seemed very choreographed and scripted, but that could have just been the gameplay demo that they showed. But what surprised me, and one of the things I did want to bring up, was an article on Forbes. So Eric Kane from Forbes writes, the new Star Wars Outlaws trailer looks shockingly bad. And he literally goes for the jugular in this argument. And in this article, I don't think he has a strong argument, but he does, I don't know if he just, woke up on the wrong side of the bed or what, but he says, I want to quote a couple pieces here. Something is very off about the first trailer for Ubisoft's upcoming Star Wars Outlaws. It's hard to pinpoint exactly what it is, but I found myself deeply unimpressed by just about all of it, which is a shame since it sounds like the kind of game I normally enjoy, or I really enjoy. Then he kind of gives a description of the plot, and he comes back to say, I don't know about you, but I think this looks pretty bad. The graphics are okay, but facial animations are wooden, the dialogue is stilted, and there's something about it that makes it feel a game simply masquerading as a Star Wars title. I think the dialogue issues are less about the main cast and more about the supporting cast. There's a pretty good chunk of exposition explaining the precarious situation Kay is in from a guy named Jalen Vrax, and the delivery is just terribly flat. So why include any of that in the trailer? Bizarre. Fortunately, the gameplay trailer looks much better than the story trailer. And then he kind of goes on from there. But I was surprised to see someone go so hard in this. And but unfortunately, so Matt Mauldings, is this kind of like
I think I must have watched the story trailer. If there were 2 trailers that came out, I think
There was only a story trailer, but I linked to the old gameplay, so because I knew what you were going to say.
Okay, so that's what I didn't see. I saw the story trailer. Yeah, I mean, it just looked like a Star Wars video game. There did not look to me anything super special about it, but I'll watch the gameplay trailer and have an update next week.
Has
All right,
Ubisoft? I need to watch it too. Has Ubisoft made a Star Wars game before?
I don't think so.
I don't know if they've taken a crack at it. Maybe way back in the day.
Yeah, I don't remember anything.
Unless who made the Force Unleashed? Who made those games? Was that EA?
Yeah, that was EA for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that's part of the EA Play
Yeah,
on Xbox.
Yeah,
backwards compatibility.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, well, I thought it looked okay, but if
Sorry, Dan. Sorry, Dan.
I have bad taste in games anyway, so I have no idea if it's going to be good or not. But one thing that definitely threw a bucket of cold water on everyone's face was this controversy about the price. So I want to read directly from IGN, and I want to share a little bit of the different versions, the standard version, the gold version, and the ultimate version. So the article from IGN says, Star Wars Outlaws expensive gold and ultimate editions with their season passes and early access spark debate. Ubisoft has sparked debate after announcing Star Wars Outlaws prices. The $110 gold edition and even more expensive $130 are being criticized by some, not just for costing much more, but for what they include. The gold edition includes the base game, as you'd expect, the season pass, and then 3 days of early access with the pre-order. The ultimate edition includes all of that and 2 cosmetic bundles and a digital art book. The season pass adds 2 post-launch story expansions and the exclusive Jabba's Gambit mission at launch, and then the Kessel Runner character cosmetic pack. So it's worth noting that Star Wars Outlaws is a single-player game, which has caused some to question the need for a season pass at all. But many are using the word season just to suggest that there will be story DLCs. It's also worth pointing out that the base game costs $70 on console, which means Ubisoft values the season pass and its early access at $40 in addition to that. And then the cosmetics and the digital art book, they are valued at $20 on top of all of that. So the one interesting thing about this is that this is a similar price and strategy to what they did to Avatar, which released. And I mean, people grumbled and didn't really say anything, but I don't know that it had the same weight as this or the same amount of content or lack of content, as some might claim, for the price. So looking at this like a $70 base game, $110 early access season pass game, and $130 ultimate game, what are your guys' reactions?
Take it, Lord.
Yeah, it's shocking to me. I feel like this alone is the reason why you go back and play those old classics and you don't have to worry about any of this BS. To me, when I read this and I see that there's going to be missions exclusive for a gold or ultimate tier, I immediately think, okay, they took those out of the base game and they're locking them away. Like, there's no other explanation for those, especially when it's just releasing. I mean, that is such, I think, just like, they don't have anything in mind besides money. And also, when it comes to just how are they going to make that like look okay in the game? So if you don't have the gold or ultimate, you're just going to go up to like a certain mission and there's going to be like a big cross and be like, nope, you don't have the gold or ultimate.
They did it in Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Then Harry Potter, there was an exclusive PS5 mission that Xbox players couldn't get, and we walked up to a blue door and we wondered what the heck the blue door was for in the city, and we couldn't get in.
Oh, that's so funny. I didn't even know that. That's kind of hilarious. Yeah. See, that kind of stuff is so immersion breaking to me. And with single player games, all you want is immersion. So you have something to do that. It's just, it's kind of it's uncalled for.
Maulding?
I definitely agree. It depends on the game. So I paid extra money for Baldur's Gate to play it 3 days early on PlayStation, and I think I paid $10 more, and that was all the extra. That's all it was. That's all you got. There was nothing, no season pass, no skins. You paid $10 for an extra 3 days or 4 days or 5 days or whatever it was. And I was fine with that because I wanted to play that game immediately and have it in my hands. Now, this game I don't feel the same way about, so I don't feel that way about that extra 3 days. But yeah, I completely agree with locking. You're just locking behind a paywall for a single player game. It's nuts to me. And the amount of money for just cosmetics for a single player game where you're not even able to show them off to anybody else that you're playing with. It's just your stuff that you're seeing. Is if you're paying that money, you deserve to have your money taken. I did not buy. I really wanted to play Avatar when it first came out. I did not buy it, and I'm still not buying it because eventually these games become $20.
Agreed.
And so it's $130 versus $20. I'm paying $20, and I'm just gonna wait. Not to also mention that most of these games, when they first release, are buggy as all hell. So you're paying $3 or you're paying $20, $30, $40 extra for a really buggy game at launch. No. If you pay that money, you deserve to have your money taken.
I 100% agree. I think you pretty much nailed my opinion. Ubisoft does have a history of bugs, and I don't want to pay $70 for this game, let alone $130,
Yeah.
which is almost twice the amount. So,
I mean, how do you even play devil's advocate for that? It's like, how do you defend
like
it?
who's the person, who's the player that's saying that's such a great job that they did to do that for us? Like,
it's just,
I mean,
accountants, people with
maybe
MBAs.
I mean, yes, I'm sure there are lots of super Star Wars fans that would love to have the digital art book. Maybe. I think that's probably a nice thing. But is there a super Star Wars fan that's like, I can't wait to get a top hat on my little gremlin that follows me, and I'm going to pay that money? I can't see that. Who's doing that?
The one thing I do want to mention, though, is I think that they are in danger of training their audience now to wait, because these prices are so eye-wateringly and shocking high that you don't feel like you're getting everything at the $70 price, and you didn't want to pay $70 in the first place. Now you have to wait. I'm coming to the point where, and I, again, with the Avatar game, Ubisoft has taught me to wait. And I will never buy, unless it's something I really want, I'm never buying an Ubisoft game until it goes on sale. Okay,
I was so sorry. I was so happy that I didn't buy Far Cry 5 or Far Cry 6. I can't remember what number there.
I should have waited.
Because those games I would buy right off, and that's the one that taught me to wait, because all I did was wait 8 months, maybe 6, 7, 8 months. I don't remember. And it came out on Game Pass, got to play it for free, played it for 2 hours, was like, I'm so glad I did not pay money for this game.
Yep, definitely. And they still, when they get $20, they still have bugs. So I'm like, oh, jeez. But speaking of games and updates, let's move on. I know that there's one Overwatch 2 Maulding that you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, just real quickly, because both Lord and I are Overwatch 2 fans. They are doing they're really good at updating hot fixes for the game, updating characters, getting them new powers, fixing them. But there is one thing that that they've always had trouble with competitive. My dog's licking his butt. Is
zoom in.
Is he stop licking your butt, Bubby?
Beehole cam.
Is that so when you play competitive and someone leaves the game on your team, it's, I think, twice in my life my team has won after that, and the rest of the hundreds of times it's happened, we've lost. So I do think people need to be punished for it, but this is what they're doing with the new update: is competitive leavers will get punished right out of the gate, and leaving one game results in a 15-minute ban. So that I understand. But that happens if your internet goes out, if the server on Blizzard's side goes out. You're going to get that 15-minute ban. Here's the kicker. This is what's new. If you leave up to 5 games, you'll be banned for an entire competitive season.
Ooh.
If your internet goes out 5 times, you're out. They will not let you back in on that season. And these disconnects are measured in your recent games played. But if you disconnect 10 times across the entire competitive season, you'll get a season-long ban. So let me switch that around. So if that's 5 games within a certain period of time you leave, you're out for the whole season. But no matter what, if it's 10 games that season, you're out. And
Wow.
they're making this update for penalties for quick play as well. So if you leave a quick play game, a game that you just want to jump in and play a quick game before dinner or something, leaving one game, you'll get a warning. But if you continue to leave, you'll be locked out of queuing for matches anywhere for a few minutes, and as much as 48 hours if you leave 10 or more games of your last 20 games played. So those are really, really harsh. If you know Overwatch at all, those are some harsh penalties. Lord, what do you think about this?
I get the competitive aspect, because I gotta be honest, sometimes it is frustrating when a teammate leaves and you're just like,
absolutely. Sometimes it's always frustrating.
Yeah, it's always frustrating. There's nothing ever positive of it, and you're right, you're never gonna win. And sometimes they'll call the game off if it's early enough in the match. Otherwise, you're just going to keep rolling.
I think you have a 20-second window or something. Yeah. If someone leaves within 20 seconds, the match gets canceled. But after that, you're screwed.
All I can think of is it's going to be the rise of the Smurfs. There's going to be a bunch of Smurfs all over. There's going to be people with 1 billion accounts. But I think I'm pretty stunned by the quick play option. Like, I leave quick plays literally all the time. Like, I don't even hesitate. If I need to leave, I leave a quick play. Like, I'm not, because they're gonna fill the match anyway.
They fill the spot. They backfill it. Yeah, with someone else playing.
It doesn't matter. So I don't know, that to me sounds like a really, that's a yikes. Especially since I only have one account. I would never Smurf or do anything like that. So
I'm curious to see how much they enforce this. Because you could really piss off your community. So I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
I want to follow up the story on this.
I'll keep an eye on it.
I could test it.
What always bothers me with leaving the game is it punishes the rest of the players and their score. So your SR gets diminished if you lose a competitive game, and you're always going to lose if someone leaves. But I don't even think there's got to be some technological solution to being able to not punish your entire team for one person leaving. And there also has to be some sort of solution to determining if someone is leaving a game on purpose or if they get disconnected through some other means. And I don't know. I feel bad for people trying to play in Alaska where it's probably spotty internet up there. And So
wait, Maulding, when are they implementing this?
This is for their next update. I think this is for this next season. So the season ends in 6 days. I think the season ends Tuesday. So this is going to be the update for Tuesday.
It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. That sounds
right around
pretty negative to me.
Definitely keep us posted. All right, so we need to move on though.
Yeah. We'll do.
All right, so moving on, we have an email. It's time for listener emails. And today we got one from Helldivers guy who wrote in to goodplayingwithyou@gmail.com, just like you can. And he says, lads, a little locker room talk perhaps. What female or male lead or supporting character piqued your fancy the most? Could it be as recent as Lady D from Resident Evil Village, or the 32-bit perfection of Lara Croft? All these years of gaming, and who's the one that got away? I'm not embarrassed to say I simped hard for Farah in the Prince of Persia Sands of Time. Love the pod, fellas. Love Helldivers guy. And I actually have a picture for him of Farah.
Oh, I think I'm gonna say, and here's a picture of hella dope guy.
Yeah. No, I wanted to show you what he was the girl.
Oh,
yeah.
The girl of his dreams. And so
Yeah, there
I
it
want
is.
to turn it over to you guys. Find out like who's the one that got away. Maulding.
Oh, you're making me go first?
Yes.
All right. So I would have to say Nathan Drake is hunky. And yeah, there he is. Yeah, I mean, how could you not like that? He's like a manly man. He looks I'm
I
all about
agree.
Nathan Drake. Look at oh my gosh.
Whoa.
Wait, I'm gonna take my glasses off for that photo. Look at that
This
one.
is a mod. This is a mod.
Oh,
dang.
oh.
I just had to throw it in there for you.
Oh my god! I think that one just made me blush. Jesus.
Yeah, he's shredded.
I had to do it.
Can I
found
wait?
that
Can I get that mod on my computer? Can I get it just on there?
Yes.
So then, if I swung the other way, I would go Yennefer of Venderberg. Yes, there she is. I think when I first saw her playing Witcher, it would have been. I mean, I think I saw her in Witcher 3. I think she was in. But Witcher. Wait. Am I mixing up my Witchers? Is Witcher 3 the last one, or is Witcher 4?
Yeah, the Wild Hunt. This is Witcher 3 last one.
So Witcher 2, I think she was in. Then when I saw her, in Witcher 3, when she screws Geralt on a unicorn, I was like, "You go! Like, good for you." And then Geralt's pretty hot too. So the two of them together were really good.
True.
But then I want to give special consideration. Again, Fallout. We've got Fallout 4 in the brain. This is my character from Fallout that I built, and I think I built him so handsome. And it was I think it was a pleasure for me to play as that man throughout the entire game. And yeah, I'll stick to that.
I wasn't expecting all these screenshots. This is
I
really
worked hard
well
today. I couldn't help myself.
Well done.
Yes.
Yeah, he's handsome dude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. He's got good hair. He's got good bone structure. I was.
It's kind of got like a God of War like skin tone.
I mean, that might be just the slime from the from the sea creature that I killed. That's right behind him there. But yeah. So yeah, I think those would be my horny trio of.
I love them.
They're
fantastic.
Thank you.
Love it.
Lord.
All right, so I am going to just lead the charge first with Miranda Lawson from Mass Effect 2. I was going to say 2010 me was very into her, lol. I mean, look at her.
They did a fantastic job in that game of highlighting her ass anytime she walked into her room.
For sure.
Yes.
It was her ass walked in first, and then it was her.
Yeah, in her, what was the group, N7 or something?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
In that little outfit.
Yeah. I do have to say,
nice.
Lord, when I was looking for photos to surprise you guys with them, this is the most cosplay I had ever seen. Every woman was wearing that skin-tight white N7 outfit with their ass out. And it was like, well, they got the character right. I mean, she definitely looked fantastic.
They nailed it. And then the next one is Aya Brea from Parasite Eve.
Wow.
Okay, wait.
I mean, I know that game.
Real quickly, Lord, I thought my computer was going to melt down with the amount. I looked up this character, the amount of fan fiction and porn, straight up porn that was around this character. You're clearly not alone in your affection for this woman, Lord. You are in the minority here. I mean, the majority here, because there were, let's just say, lots. She wins for all of the characters I looked up for the dirtiest photos.
I mean, man, the PS1 graphics with her,
I'm playing it tame here. I'm playing it super tame because the stuff that I got was like, oh, we're going to get banned.
The cutscenes of her, I was like, wow, what a pretty lady. I was like, back in the day, it was just like
pretty lady.
Oh, man, it's so funny. And then just like looking at how pixelated, like Final Fantasy 7-esque type of like pixels in the game, it's just wild. But yeah, definitely she's up there. And then I think last but not least, but Quiet from MGS 5.
I mean,
I didn't see her in the list, so I didn't grab a picture.
Oh, okay, no worries. Sorry. Well,
I mean, you don't just imagine a naked lady.
Yes.
That's all you gotta do to imagine quiet for the most part.
And the actress who played her, like, she keeps coming up because like she always kind of like reflects on how scandalous the outfit was, but no complaints on my side. So
I mean, how else was she supposed to breathe? That's how that character breathed.
It's like we got to be considerate for her breathing.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's it for me.
That's hilarious. Yeah, definitely. That's fantastic. Okay, so my first one is my shout out to when I was in the closet days. So early on, one of my first video game crushes was Tina Armstrong. Are either one of you familiar with her?
No, but look at those abs, Dan. Are you sure you were in the closet?
She was fantastic. She was in DOA. I think she's been in all of them. And then, so she was, and she was DOA 3 was one of the first ones out on the Xbox, and it's that one with the commercial where the stupid guy's like, she kicks high or whatever. So I was one of the DOA girls, and her dad, she has a whole storyline with her dad, Bass Armstrong. He's a famous wrestler, and she wants to be like a movie star or something like that. But she gets into wrestling because she wants the attention, and then she has to wrestle her dad. And it's like, and she beats him, of course. But it's like this whole like storyline. It was dramatic, and I thought she was great. And then shortly after that game, there was DOA Extreme Volleyball. It was pretty much just what you would imagine, where it was a very
is that her carrying 2 volleyballs right now? No.
Very patriotic of her.
God bless America.
Yes.
So in this game, you played volleyball, but it wasn't really so much about that. You dated the girls and you had to give them gifts, and she liked flowers and things like that. So it was just kind of pervy and fun, but I don't know. Tina Armstrong, I thought she was great. And then more recently, of course, moving on, after I came out of the closet, definitely Dorian from Dragon's Age Inquisition did it for me. I thought he was amazing. He not only was he handsome, but he was he had this whole tragic backstory about his dad too. I guess I feel like people with daddy issues, because his dad found out he was gay and kicked him out. And then I was like, come on, Dorian, I'll be your daddy.
I totally forgot about him. You are totally correct on that one.
Look at that.
That is a very good one. Yeah.
Thank you.
Well done.
So yeah, that's my perv out people.
Can we also give special consideration to the poor women exploited on the guy game? I don't know if anyone remembers this game. Dan and I do, but this was a game where you played trivia. And
which we love trivia.
We love some trivia, and then it cut to actual video of dudes on a beach on like spring break asking these trivia questions to women, to girls. And it was pretty scandalous. And
right, and it wasn't like you didn't choose whether you got it right. You had to vote whether the girl got it right or wrong.
That's
so we didn't know for sure. So then Matt and I got totally pervy, and we printed out all of the answers from an online PDF because you had to get everything right to see the boobs, and that was all we were trying to do. So I, to this day, still have a binder like this thick of paper from work, where we printed out every answer so that we could see every boob in there. It was fun.
Wait, I need to see this. I want to see this binder.
Well, because Dan still has the game, I think.
Yes, I totally do. But we need something to play as the PS2. But we could have some beers and then we could play this.
I think I have a PS2 in the back. We could.
And I have beers, so we could make it.
I mean. But this game ended up being banned because I think some of the girls, or one of the girls, was underage, right?
One girl turned out she signed that she was over 18, and then once the game released and her family saw her in it, then they said, hey, she's not. And so the game was actually recalled, and it is a kind of expensive collector's item because of this girl, and I don't know who she was, and we won't watch her boobs. We will only watch the 18-year-old boobs or whatever, and above boobs, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's such a good little, that's actually an interesting, tidbit of video game history. I didn't even know about this game.
Oh, Maulding,
Yeah,
I laughed forever. About
I
this one. It's
worked
awesome.
on it. I worked on the promotion of it at one of my old jobs, and I actually have some like guy game T-shirts that I used to wear out,
Nice.
and that I have now grown out of this way. Yeah, but so that a little special shout out to the guy game.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, so that was fun. Thank you very much, Hello Dope Guy, for writing in. That was totally fun, and so I appreciate it. And
That was.
feel free to continue to write in at goodplayingwithyou@gmail.com. All right, moving on. We got to move to our trivia SmackDown of the week.
I waited for the sound effect this time.
I can't trick you now. Now I'm going to have to wait
can't.
for you so you don't think it's coming. I'm going to get you.
So we've done a lot of talk on Fallout this week. This is Fallout trivia. So hopefully you guys know your games. We'll see. Who is first?
I think it's me going first.
All right, Lord.
All right.
Dan, go into our soundproof booth. And Lord, I just need to get my pen here. And we are going to start right now. What's the name of the weapon that fires small nuclear bombs?
Fat Boy.
This very famous actor is the voice of your dad in Fallout 3. Better not take his daughter.
Liam Neeson.
What are the giant dinosaur-like monsters in the Fallout universe called?
Death Claws.
My favorite soda is Diet Pepsi, but in the Fallout universe, it would probably be this drink.
Nuka-Cola.
What mountain range does the majority of the base game of Fallout 76 take place?
Pass.
This brand of robot comes in two versions called Mr. Gutsy and Mr. What?
Mr. Shooty.
Drugs are very helpful in the Fallout series. What drug helps with your intelligence temporarily?
Brainstem.
Matthew Perry, Rip, was a huge fan of the Fallout series, so much so that he voiced the character you come across in the beginning of which game?
Fallout 3.
What do you call the personal computer that vault dwellers wear on their wrists?
Pip-Boy.
This colorful gas station brand is prominent throughout the series.
Adams.
Do you want to go back to any of them?
No.
All right. We've got 1:43, 1 minute 43.
All right.
Dan, you are welcome to come back.
All right, I'm ready. Put SmackDown.
Those were fun.
I got to be honest with you. I'm a bit rusty at my Fallout knowledge, though.
That's okay. So was Lord.
Yeah.
Thank God. Thank the Lord.
Thank the Lord. Sorry, my timing thing is up. Okay, here we go. What's the name of the weapon that fires small nuclear bombs?
Duck-billed platypus.
This very famous actor is the voice of your dad in Fallout 3. Better not take his daughter.
Little Richard.
What are the giant dinosaur-like monsters in the Fallout universe called?
Dinos.
My favorite soda is Diet Pepsi, but in Fallout universe, it would probably be this drink.
Nuka-Cola.
What mountain range does the majority of the base game of Fallout 76 take place?
Appalachian.
This brand of robot comes in two versions called Mr. Gutsy and Mr. What?
Not so gutsy.
Drugs are very helpful in the Fallout series. What drug helps with your intelligence temporarily?
Cocaine.
Matthew Perry, Rip, was a huge fan of the Fallout series, so much so that he voiced a character you come across at the beginning of which game?
Fallout 4.
What do you call the personal computer that vault dwellers wear on their wrists?
Is that the boy one or is the Vats one? The Pit Boy.
This colorful gas station brand is prominent throughout the series.
Gas station.
Do you want to go? Oh, yeah, sorry.
A Chevron.
Do you want to go back to any of them?
No, dude. No, I think I embarrassed myself enough. I don't need to embarrass myself a second time, but I appreciate the offer.
Congratulations, Matt Lord. You are the winner. With four correct answers to Dan's 3 correct answers, you take home the Fallout prize. Now, Lord, you would have had 5 correct answers, but it's Fat Man is the name of the weapon that fires nuclear bombs. I think you said Fat Boy.
I did.
I almost said Fat Boy too. That's funny.
Dang.
So that's the one. Liam Neeson is correct. That Lord got this one correct. He is the famous actor that voices your dad in Fallout 3. Better not take his daughter, Dan. You should have got it with that clue. The giant dinosaur-like monsters in Fallout are called Death Claws, which Lord got. My favorite soda is Diet Pepsi. It's Nuka-Cola. I think both of you got that one correct. In here, Appalachia is where Fallout 76 takes place. Dan got that one correct. Matt didn't. Mr. Gutsy and Mr. Handy are the 2 versions of those robots.
Oh, everyone likes a handy. I should have known.
Yeah.
Mentats are the drug that help your intelligence. Matthew Perry was in Fallout New Vegas. He is the guy that digs or that shoots you or digs you up. I can't remember at the very beginning of the game. Pit Boys are the personal computers, and the colorful gas station brand is Red Rocket. That is the name of that brand of gas. Yeah, you come across a few gas stations throughout your time, and they have like the rocket, and
So I remember that now.
Congratulations there, Matt Lord.
Wow.
It's only the second time it's happened in the history of the show, and it stings just as much as the first. I mean, congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Appreciate it, guys. Hopefully more wins to come.
I don't know about that, but I'll do my best to stop it. All right, so thank you guys. That's pretty much all the time we have today. Thank you, Maulding, for the trivia. That was definitely fun. But on that note, we need to start wrapping things up.
I'll call out the socials again. It's good playing with you. Search us on all the socials and you'll find us, and email us at goodplayingwithyou@gmail.com. And I'm gonna do the like and subscribe. It really helps us out. Hit that little bell icon and you'll be alerted when we have any new video.
Awesome, thank you for that. So that's pretty much it. All the time we have today. On behalf of the Good Playing crew, Matt Lord, Matt Maulding, and myself, Dan Whitehill, have a great weekend. And as always, good playing with you.
Good playing with you.